Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan in the background with a screenwriter's rant on Spider-Man No Way Home. The official trailer is out. If you haven't seen it, it looks pretty good. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Someone got Kindle Unlimited Pineys, and I gave Joan a treat in the other videos, which are on Bitchute and Rumble. If you'd like to support the channel, you can like, subscribe, or you can buy a book or all three. It doesn't matter to me. Thank you for supporting the channel, though. Okay, so Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, they've run into some problems, and there's some spoilers here for the previous Spider-Man movie, so if you haven't seen it, you're going to hear an important plot point, because it's the only way I can discuss it. So here it is. In the previous movie, which I didn't see either, and I still want to see it, the end of the movie, Mysterio reveals the identity of Peter Parker, which is a dumb move. It was a dumb move in the comics. It's a dumb move in the movies. Now, with the movies, it's slightly better because the movies are shorter lived. You know, you don't have to go 500 issues of a comic where you have to completely rewrite it and ruin the character's secret identity. You know, the movie, how many more movies are they going to do with Tom Holland? I don't know. There's this one, probably maybe one or two more, as long as they're making money, I guess, and as long as Tom Holland wants to do them. Marvel Phase 4, I would give it maybe two more movies after this. And they're good, don't get me wrong. Tom Holland, for my money, is probably the best Spider-Man. But this whole premise is shaky, I gotta say. So, the premise is his identity's been revealed, so and it's ruined his life. So he goes to Stephen Strange and says, "Can you cast a spell to undo it?" And he's warned, even in the trailer, don't do that spell. And Stephen Strange does it anyway. He is also irresponsible enough to have Parker stand next to him and screw up the spell as he's casting it. This is something Marvel characters just wouldn't do. A sensible person just wouldn't do. If the spell's that crazy and you've been warned, you better not cast that spell, you'd probably make sure very much that you would not screw it up. And instead, now you've got, the movie based on that. I mean, if this is going to be the last movie, fine. I don't think it is. I don't know if it's going to be the last movie with Tom Holland. But you're kind of like burning out all the bits. And the last bit I'll show you right here is the return of Doc Ock, who, by the way, I mean, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock was really good. It's really good. He wasn't Doc Ock in this version of Spider-Man, and I don't know what the continuity is between the other Spider-Man and this one. I mean, they're getting into the whole multiverse thing, but this is the problem with the multiverse. You can't have it both ways. Either, and I believe the other Spider-Man are going to be in it too. So this probably has to be the last Spider-Man movie, really, or you have to go back to some other version because you're just burning out all the things, and it's fine, I guess. If you're going to end it here, if you're going to end the Tom Holland Spider-Man here, this would probably be a good place to end it. But it's still a weak choice. It's still a very weak choice. It's like marrying Clark Kent. You undermine the whole character. Part of what's built into superheroes is their secret identity a lot of times. It's the same thing when Michael Keaton tore off his bat cowl at the end of the first Batman movie. It was like, what? What are you doing? You don't do that. You don't have to. I get it. You want to see the star and you want an acting moment or whatever. No, not if you want to continue to franchise. And that's what this supposedly is, right? You're going to continue to franchise. They'll probably, maybe they pass it off to another actor, or maybe they do a TV series, which would be great. Because Spider-Man's a lot of fun. At the end of the movie, you're going to have to go back to zero. You're going to have to go back to status quo. And, you got there in a way that kind of undermines Doctor Strange and undermines the entire universe. And if you could just switch all this stuff around, why don't you just bring everybody back who died? Why don't you just undo everything that was bad? That's the problem. So it is a rookie mistake to go down this path from a screenwriting standpoint. You shouldn't do this. It was a rookie mistake in the comics, but the thing about comics is you can just undo it and then you're back in the next issue. They do it all the time in comics. You can set it up like, oh, this is a fantasy story. This is an Elseworld story. This is a alternative universe story. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then you go through it and it's over. Or you undo it by the end of the issue or the end of the story. And that's fine because it's a continuing thing. And the whole point of the continuation is to continue the character of Spider-Man, who is a superhero with a secret identity, which is key to his character. If you're not going to do that, you're ruining it. And that's what a lot of what's happening at Marvel and DC now. They're kind of unraveling the characters because, oh, nothing matters. Nothing matters. So I think it was probably a dumb idea to end the previous movie this way, but it's also a screenwriting thing to have bigger and bigger reveals, bigger and bigger shocks, right? And that was probably a big shock at the end. Oh my God, you revealed this identity. Oh my God. I get it. You get some mileage out of it for that movie. Now you have to address it in this movie, and again, you're undermining the fun of the character, which is Peter Parker kind of, never wins. Ultimately, he's a hero, but he's making that sacrifice even though his life sucks. And that's part of his sacrifice. His life has to suck. But unfortunately, a lot of writers today don't get that. They just don't get it. And, RJ of the Fourth Age talks about heroes' traits like prudence and that they have to sacrifice. That's how Peter Parker sacrifices. His life sucks. He could make it not suck by revealing his identity and making millions of dollars, but he doesn't do that because he realized early on that shouldn't be what it's about. It's about the great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. Where's the responsibility here? Peter's doing something, they're trying to make it work. They're saying, well, I got to do this for my friends. We're being harassed. Yeah, I appreciate the screenwriters trying to make it work. And look, I think this is going to be a very watchable and good movie. I do. First act, it'll be, you get to see Spider-Man as he would have lived if everybody knew who he was. And then, he gets harassed. Then he goes to Strange. Second act is, oh, they screw up the spell. And now we're in all this alternate stuff. And we get Doc Ock. We get the other Spider-Man. We get all sorts of craziness. And then, him and Doctor Strange somehow have to reverse everything and go back to the way it was. And then they do. And that's the end of the movie. This one's really predictable. Because they have to go back to that. At the end, they have to. So I think it'll be a fun movie, but I think ultimately it's very predictable. And that's it for that. So good luck on Phase 4. I'll be watching it when it hits one of the streaming services I don't have to pay for.